everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jane and today I'm going to do a video 10 things that you didn't know about me. So I've not been shopping or anything, it's not a haul today. My channel's usually hauls, bit of crafty stuff. I've been doing some cooking, trying to. But yeah, today I'm going to do a short video on 10 different things that you didn't know about me. So if you enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below, maybe consider subscribing if you haven't. Yeah, so for any of you that don't know me, my name's Jane, welcome to my channel, and for those of you that do know me, thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around. So I think I'll just jump straight into it first. So I've thought of 10 different things. First one is that I've got a brother and a sister, both share the same birthday but they're 6 years apart. So I've got a brother, Paul, and a sister called Jill. And yeah, both born on the same day, but 6 years difference. So I used to love it growing up, knowing that I had a birthday that I didn't have to share with anyone. They had to share birthday presents, cakes and everything. And I could have my birthday in the summer on my own. So that's the first fact. Second one is certain foods are just, there's a few foods that I really don't like, which are tomato soup, tin spaghetti and porridge, and I can't stand them. I don't even want to sit near to anybody that's eating them. I can't wash the pans after somebody's ate them because they're gross. I can't stand them. Tomato soup, if anyone in our family's eating tomato soup, I'll just go and sit somewhere else for a bit because it's just, I don't know why, I just think they're horrible. I don't know if my mum and dad tried to make me eat them as a child and I've just been like, oh, ever since, no. So that's the second one. I've written them down as well, by the way, because I just forgot what I was going to say. The next one is I used to have a silver car that I'd bought from brand new and thought I'd be really good one day and wash the car myself instead of getting my husband to wash it. Had a day off work, washed the car with, you know, the thing that you wash dishes with, the pan scrub. Needless to say, it wasn't metallic when I'd finished. It ruined the paintwork on the car. I thought I was doing an amazing thing by cleaning the car, making it really nice, hoovered inside and everything, but the paintwork was scratched. We had to buy some special polish to see if we could make it look good again, but it just wasn't the same after. So little tip for you there, don't use a pan scrub to wash your metallic car. I don't even know why, what came into my mind with that? I don't know, must have been a blonde moment. And I was young, I was only about 20 at the time, maybe a bit, yeah, about 20 at the time. So I won't ever do that ever again. I mean, I don't wash the car anymore either, so probably not going to do it again, am I? Yeah, so that was one thing. It was the first car I'd had as well that was bought from brand new, and it was still quite new when I did it, so yeah, as you can imagine, he wasn't pleased. The next thing I used to have, I used to be a stamp collector, which my kids think it's really funny to still skip me about now. They mention it when we're out and everything, just to try and embarrass me. So yeah, I had different pen pals, which, you know, they arrange pen pals for you when you're in school and what have you. I had a pen pal from Germany, one from France, and I think one from China, but I lost touch with the one from China because it took so long to get a letter there and back, so we lost touch. But I kept in touch with the other two, one from Germany, one from France, and we used to send each other gifts through the post, different stationery stuff and things like that. And I used to save the stamps off all my letters, and I was really like particular about putting them into this stamp album with the right little sticky hinges on the back to make sure they was all set out really nice. Yeah, so the kids think that's quite amusing. The next thing, I am terrible at maths. Maths is probably one of the worst things, one of the worst subjects for me at school. Hated it. I don't know if it's the teacher that I had, or just the fact that I wasn't interested. I mean, I wasn't the most academic person anyway. I didn't really like school, but maths was my worst subject at school. I think I even got an E or an F in my GCSEs. It was that bad. So yeah, don't ask me any sums or expect me to work anything out, because it's just not going to happen. If you ask me something to do with money now, I'd understand you. If it was a simple question, working out, you know, a simple sum, if you've got this much money and you use so much, then I'm with you. But maths, no, I didn't understand. I don't know why they have to confuse it with letters and all the rest, fractions. Nah, wasn't for me, maths. In fact, my most hated lessons at school were maths and drama. I used to cringe when we had to do drama because I was like mortified having to stand up and talk in front of people, or, you know, do a bit of acting or something. I absolutely hated it, to the point where I'd even wag it and go and sit in the toilets with my friends. Not every lesson, mind, just on the odd occasion. We'd sneak off. Didn't do drama, hated it. Yeah, you'd find us sat in the toilets trying to hide, but we got sussed a couple of times. My favourite lessons were art, PE, and I liked history. So they was my favourite lessons in school. I do love anything crafty or anything to do with art, so that's sort of, that's me all over really. The next fact is it took me 5 tries to pass my driving test. So I passed on the 5th, and I was just going to give up, to be honest. I was so sick of keep putting in from a test, paying for all the lessons. You have to have so many lessons in between each test. It cost me a fortune in the end. And the place where I was working at the time, they used to laugh and say, the instructors will invite you to the Christmas do because you've been there that many times. So 5 attempts to pass my driving test. I still don't like driving, but I will do it. And if I'm going somewhere different, like somewhere that I've never been before, I'll actually do, I don't know how many dummy runs to make sure I know where I'm going and that, because I don't like driving. I will drive, but my son got me to drive to the dog's home near me a couple of months ago because he was getting a rescue dog, and I was a nervous wreck because I just hated it. I didn't know where I was going. The kids are all in the car telling me, you're going the wrong way, turn this, turn that. I was stressed out by the time I got there. So yeah, driving, I'm not good at. Something I'd rather avoid. Let's see what else is on the list. Oh, I've got 2 tattoos. You've probably seen one of them, which is on my arm, which is like a, what do you call it? Is it a lotus flower? Yeah, it's a bit yoga related. That's one of them. And I've got another one on my ribs, which is a heart with flowers coming off. I would like some more, but my husband doesn't like them. He actually really doesn't like tattoos. But on the other hand, I quite like them. So I actually had the first one done when we'd had a bit of an argument, probably just to pee him off. But yes, that was my first tattoo. It wasn't done that long ago either, actually. It was only about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. And I'd been toying with the idea, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. Booked myself in, went on my day off, and then when I came over, we didn't know I'd had it done. And I was like, do you want to see what I've done today? And he was like, oh, what have you done that for? But yeah, I would have another one. When I had the one on my ribs, she tried to talk me into having it on my leg instead, because she said it's going to hurt more if you have it done on your ribs. But I was adamant it was going to be where I wanted it to be. So yeah, my daughter's toying with the idea of having a tattoo, and I said, oh, we'll get matching ones. So yeah, don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. What else have I got on here? I used to work as a funeral arranger. Now this wasn't too long ago either. It was about maybe 2-3 years ago. I worked in a funeral parlour, arranging funerals for people when they came into the shop, which it was all right until someone came into the shop and asked to see a loved one in the chapel of rest. And then my job would also be to go into each chapel, take the coffin lid off, make sure the body was, you know, okay to be viewed before letting the family in. And I just hated taking the coffin lids off. I didn't like it at all. I'd be like having to build myself up to it. So yeah, they had 3 or 4 different shops in my area, and they'd make you go to different shops when someone was off sick. And one of the shops, I'm sure it was haunted, because I was on the reception one day and a lady came in, one of the florists that brought flowers into the shop, and there was a CCTV camera right next to my computer. So I looked on the CCTV, saw this florist coming in, and as I looked on the CCTV, there was her stood on the monitor, and there was a man stood next to the pillar that was in the reception. So I watched her go through to the back, put the flowers in the back, and then I was waiting for her to come back. So I seen her come back, and she was on her own when she came back. So I nipped into the reception and said to her, "Oh, have you put the flowers where they're going?" So she said, "Oh yeah, yeah." I said, "Is anybody else with you then?" And she went, "No, no, I came in on my own." And I was just gobsmacked. I went, "I saw somebody else on the monitor," and I actually had to ask her, because I saw 2 people on the monitor. So maybe it was just my mind working overtime because I knew I was in a chapel arrest, or maybe there was a ghost with me. I'm clicking my pen, by the way. That's what I'm doing down here, my little cactus pen. Yeah, so that freaked me out. I wasn't there for very long. I was there for about 6 months. It was a lovely family that owned the shop. Plus, I didn't always understand some of the things that people were asking for, with regards to grave plots and garden of remembrance. I didn't understand which was which, what was one from the other. So probably a good job I did stay there. So that was that, my strangest job I've ever had. The next thing I've got on my list, I don't even know what number I'm up to now. I'll just have a little look, see if I've covered everything I was going to tell you. Yeah, next one. I've been married for 20 years in August, to the same man, of course. We got married, we was meant to get married in a registry office, and they had a fire in the registry office a couple of days before. Should have took that as a bit of a warning sign, really, shouldn't I? But yeah, they moved us to the town hall, so we got married in the town hall, which was really nice and everything. It was probably better than the registry office, so I'm quite glad they had a fire down. And then we went on honeymoon to Portugal a couple of days later. So yeah, 20 years. God, I deserve a medal, I think. But we're still there, still going. Not killed each other yet. So that is fact number 9, I think I'm up to. And the last one, the nicest place I've ever been to on holiday, I'd say, is Bergen in the Norwegian fjords. So I trained as a travel agent. As soon as I left school, I went to do like a YTS in a travel agency. I'd signed up to do nursery nursing at college, and then a friend of my dad's, his daughter worked in a travel agency in town. Excuse me. And they said to me, there's a YTS, like a traineeship going on at this travel agency. Would your daughter be interested? So I said, oh, I had to think about it, and I thought, well, you know what? Yeah, I do actually fancy that. Don't know if I fancy working with little kids all day. So that was it. Cancelled my course, the nursery nursing course, and decided to do travel instead. Did 2 years at college learning travel agency, which was really, it was a lot of fun, to be honest. We went on different holidays. Went to Euro Disney with college. I went on a little cruise up to Scotland and then up to Norway, which was absolutely gorgeous. Did spend 2 days in bed being sick because I am seasick. So that wasn't the best. I was with complete strangers as well, so it was just the cabin stewards that came in leaving me fruit in a basket to make sure I was eating, because I was so ill. I didn't come out the room for 2 days. So yeah, the nicest place I've been to. I'd like to go back to the Norwegian fjords. So picturesque, and it's just beautiful. But yeah, I was going to tell you something else about travel then, and it's completely slipped my mind. Yeah, I worked in a shop in town, in a travel agency that sold mainly cruises, We did some flights, ferries, different things. Yeah, I was there for about 10 years in the end, and then they closed the shop and I was made redundant. So I went into the hospitals, which is where I am now. Still working as a medical secretary. So that is 10 things that you might not have known about me. So yeah, I didn't do any hauls this week, nothing to tell you, so I thought I'd just share a little bit about me, because you might not know very much. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. On Friday I'm hoping to film a short introduction to yoga. So if you're interested in yoga, or you think you might be interested in having a look, it's going to be a very simple introduction, so keep your eyes out for that video. Leave me a comment below, and maybe think about subscribing if you haven't. So I appreciate you watching. Thanks very much. See you again. Bye.